The Denver Broncos just got kind of the best NFL draft news we've gotten in a while, as a pretty reputable NFL mock drafter has a absolute stud falling to your Denver Broncos at number 20, and you pair this guy with Bo Nix and watch out NFL. We get more news about Deebo Samuel actually wanting to come to the Denver Broncos. We get more great news about the Chiefs' demise. So much cool stuff is happening that I couldn't stop making videos, even though I'm not in my typical man cave. I'm out in Orlando at an Airbnb on a family vacation. But if you like the Broncos, it helps me and the channel out a ton if you would smash that like and subscribe button as hard as I'm about to smash some alligator jerky. I bought some. I don't know if it's going to be good, but we'll see. So let's dive in to really the biggest news of the day. And the news really circulating around Denver right now is we know it would be amazing to just load Bo Nix up with talent and get him another top wideout, get him a tight end, getting a running back who can do some damage. And so really, right now it is George Paton and Sean Payton and the Walton Penner Group's job of like scouring the NFL and scouring the draft and being like, all right, where's the best place to go get a receiver? Where's the best place to go get a running back? And so it seems as if it could be very easy for the Denver Broncos to go out and get a receiver who's already in the league. There are a ton of notable wide receivers who are either going to be free agents, or the teams have already let them know that after June 1, they are going to be cut or traded. Obviously, all the talk over these past couple days has been the idea of Deebo Samuel, because Sean Payton went out and talked about how he wants someone who can line up as running back and line up as wide receiver, and that's basically what Deebo Samuel does better than any other wide receiver in the league at this point. And whether or not he can do it at the level he did it 3 years ago is yet to be seen, and he brings a bunch of drama. But you're talking T. Higgins could end up in Denver. We're still hearing a lot of rumors about that. We know Keenan Allen, I wouldn't be crazy about that. But I think there's a very good chance that as you look down this list of great wide receivers, one of these guys is going to end up in Denver, which means the Broncos aren't going to have to use one of their picks in the draft for receiver, because we are already grooming Devon Vele and Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin, and we got Cortland. So it seems like that core would be so elevated just by adding any of these names on this list. And again, Cooper, Kupp, Deebo, both have been their team has let them know, hey, they're on the way out. So it's going to be interesting to see how that falls. And even Deebo came out and said, like, hey, that's not that crazy of an idea. And completely unprovoked, he was asked, hey, what team out there right now do you think is going to be something special? And completely unprovoked, he doesn't go NFC where he's played. He goes with your Denver Broncos. And this gave me like chills and made me crazy hyped.
Who's a team, in your opinion, that people should kind of be like, ooh, they might be something special?
I could say Denver. Bo Nix is playing really, really good ball right now. Your defense is outrageous. You got P2 out there.
So he says, what's a team who's going to be sneaking up on everyone? He's like, I could say Denver. You got Bo Nix playing really, really good ball. He sounded exactly like Charles Barkley, like just the way he speaks. That really just sounded like Charles Barkley. Get him in orange and blue. Do whatever it takes to get him in orange and blue. That might make me in the minority on that, but let me know. Do you think it'd be sick to see Deebo here? Even if Deebo Samuel doesn't end up wearing orange and blue next year, it is cool to me that when he's asked to survey the entire league and pick his dark horse, he is picking the horse that we all love, and that's the Denver Broncos. So you got a bunch of other really plugged-in Denver Broncos sources, including Benjamin Albright, and he says he doesn't think a trade is going to be happening. He's been looking at these lists as well, but he said a name to keep your eye out for is definitely Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is coming off of an injury, but he got a crazy amount of money, and he has a brand new head coach who has zero ties to Taysom Hill, and most of the coaching staff that really groomed Taysom Hill and made him who he was is now out the door, completely gone from that organization. And we know Taysom is kind of a unicorn, and that you put Taysom Hill in a typical offense that doesn't use him as he's meant to be used, and he's really not that valuable. So he has a ton more value for your Denver Broncos than he would for the New Orleans Saints, who are going to be running something completely different. And if you take a look here, they are in big cap problems here. They're in a hard way here. And by June 1st, they have 3 players that they have to cut just in order to get to baseline, and that's without making any improvement. So Taysom Hill is an interesting name to keep your eye out from. Again, if he is cut, that means the Broncos could sign him on a complete sweetheart deal, kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers did with Russell Wilson. So let's hypothetically say that we answer our question about receiver through free agency, whether that's Deebo, Kupp, T. Higgins, Godwin, or it's Taysom Hill. then it becomes, all right, where are we going to go get a game-changing running back? And I think everybody and their mom wants it to be Ashton Jeanty here. Like, that would be wild. You hear Philip Lindsay compare him to Emmitt Smith. You hear just your favorite running back. He's kind of their favorite college running back right now. And he has game-changing ability to juke and hurdle, and he's got athleticism for days. He can catch the ball. That would be amazing. But a lot of people are saying he is a top 5 talent in this draft. But we know that all the teams in front of Denver drastically underperformed and have some glaring weaknesses. And so for a team like the Dallas Cowboys to draft a running back when they have massive problems, that seems ridiculous. A lot of people are saying the Raiders might draft him at 6, but the Raiders have huge problems. They need a quarterback. They need so much help there that for them to draft him, it really is the icing on top of the cupcake, and the teams in front of us don't even have a cupcake. They just got a bunch of crumbs in front of them. And so the idea that he could fall to us at 20 is becoming more and more realistic. And so Field Yates went out and did his mock draft, and he said the only other 2 places he could see Ashton Jeanty getting drafted is the Raiders at 6 or the Cowboys at 12. And he just thinks they have so many more holes on their roster that even though he is a bona fide top 5 talent in this draft, he could fall all the way to Denver at 20. And so I think that would get us all wildly hyped. Let me know, like, how many shirts would you rip through if all of a sudden Ashton Jeanty falls to us at 20? That would be sick. I know obviously we all, Tyler Warren would be amazing. I think that tight end position, as we saw the difference that Brock Bowers made, he single-handedly won the Raiders the couple games that they did win, breaking pretty much every record that was there for rookie tight ends, and was one of the most prolific tight ends in the league. And a tight end isn't just a great receiving threat. They also can help you set up the run game. So I could see it being way more realistic that the Broncos end up having Jeanty fall to them rather than Tyler Warren. But if you have Ashton Jeanty and the cat from University of Michigan on the board together, Colston Loveland, if you have Jeanty and Loveland on the board at 20, what do you do? Because you're talking Loveland is probably end of first round when it comes to his total mocked value right now, but tight end probably a little more important than wide receiver. But if Taysom Hill is going to come here and do the role Sean Payton wants for him, then maybe we roll with the tight ends we have because they were great in the pass block. But Field Yates goes on and just talks about how great of a pickup this would be, and that this would take our roster from being just sneak into the playoffs to being watch out because you are now surrounding Bo Nix with an insane amount of talent. This would just be fireworks city, and I would lose my mind if that happened. A couple other things. We're just seeing more and more love as the media row and all that's over. We're in the dark days. NFL is over now. I was walking by a TV at the pool, and they were playing NFL Network highlights of a game last year, and it just made my heart hurt because I know from now until September, I just got to watch replays, and I don't get to watch any real football. But there's a ton of stuff that happened during those media days that I didn't see. One of them was Peter Schrager, again, a very Good Morning Football, very plugged-in source, who basically said, stop sleeping on Bo Nix, that if it were not for the fact that Jaden Daniels had one of the best years a rookie has ever had, full stop, we would be doing backflips and cartwheels about the year that Bo Nix had. But because he was so up here, Jaden Daniels, it made us kind of forget about what Bo Nix was doing. But I love the fact that the rest of the media is forgetting about us because sleep on us one more time. I double dog dare you to sleep on us because I do not think that will end well for anyone who sleeps on us. Last thing, a really cool stat that came out that I thought was amazing was just the fact that the Chiefs were mollywopped, they were shellacked, they were outperformed in every aspect of that game, and it was embarrassing. And Chiefs fans are like, hey, we're going to win. We've been in 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. We'll be back. I'm telling you that the Denver Broncos will compete for a Super Bowl before the Kansas City Chiefs will again. And the reason that I have for that is the young and hungry. That Bo Nix outperformed Patrick Mahomes. He threw for more yards. He did more with less than Patrick Mahomes. And if you take a look at how the Chiefs are currently built, that 63% of their cap hit is on these 5 dudes. And that is just not a sustainable way to build a team moving forward. And when you do it like that and then you're not good enough, that is when you are in a ton of trouble. And that makes me just absolutely thrilled. It couldn't happen to a better group of people than your Kansas City Chiefs, right? So thank you so much, Broncos Country. We've got a ton to believe in.